on purpose. Okay, so MJ match coming up. Sounds awful. Grudge match, yeah. He says this matchup is very favorable to him. I think the matchup is slightly favorable to me, though my sideboard at the moment is great. And he doesn't really disrespect my match, my deck, I mean. He says, like, red-white doesn't do anything. He doesn't know how anyone ever loses to it. Yes is F9, yeah, I have no idea. I've rebounded to 3 for like the last 5 years, and I keep rebinding it to there whenever they make me use a different hotkey, just because that's muscle memory. So double bounce land, Galvanic Blast. Well, I'm on the play even. On the draw I would consider this. Because on the draw it's actually a pretty great hand. Like you're like 60% range to, I think it's like 57% or something to hit your first land drop with a scry and a draw. And then like the hand has everything that I want. Prismatic Strands, Galvanic Blast to disrupt the combo, some draw engine. I think random 5 is slightly better than this, but yeah, on the draw it was definitely keep. On the play on the play it's a lot worse. Okay. I think I have to scry both to the top so I don't die to a quick combo, but tanking on this hand is fun. No, I was just talking about the hand. I don't think time is that important in this matchup, I don't know. But I'm not tanking on it. I was gonna mulligan for sure, I just... yeah. Well, Monarch might help. If they have a weak draw and I get to freely become the Monarch, it's great for me. If he just runs out Tribe next turn, I'm pretty screwed, because then I have to keep reactive mana open, and then I don't get the Palace Sentinels. Maybe I have to YOLO Palace Sentinels and hope he doesn't have Shadow Rift in his hand or something to make up for my otherwise pretty unplayable draw. Like, yeah, if he slams Tribe, well, I guess if he slams Tribe, he might also just Circular Logic my Palace Sentinels. Yeah, definitely not in a good spot here. Pretty dead. I can't even beat Circular Logic with the Bolt. So all that Bolt does is punish him for going for a combo when he has 0 backup, but he's never going to go for a 0 backup combo into open mana, so let's just slam Sentinels, and most of the time it's Circular Logic into kill me. But my hand doesn't really have an alternative. And even if they don't have Circular Logic, sometimes it's Shadow Rift plus Inside Out into kill me. But yeah, I think I'm forced to do this. Try to play to my outs with my mulligan to 5. Unfortunate. Okay, now we get to bring in the awesome sideboard, though the biggest problem with this sideboard is that I have more cards to bring in than I have space in my deck. Because like these are all reasonable, and we already figured, and like this is also reasonable against Journey, Serrated Arrows, and Spire Golem by my opponent, but then I have way too many cards. Hopefully I smash him in post-board games. I think my post-board matchup definitely does get a lot better, but like it's possible I just want 0 Electricry, because Tribes are already so under control with this. But yeah, this is still 66 cards. I think I want these out of my deck actually. So they do help out control him as well. Like, often he can steal the Monarch with like Shadow Rift or something, and then it backfires. And I think like one Inspector is a reasonable cut, and then I was uncertain about this looting. The Sanctifiers are also like, I think the way I sideboarded last time was cutting a land and keeping this in, and not boarding in Sanctifiers, but Sanctifiers are actually pretty great against Spire Golem. Well, it's probably too expensive. And also I do want some of these. It's just very difficult to make all of this work in terms of numbers. Something like this. I could also cut prismatic strands, but like it's so good to have. Like the problem is I have the combo under control in more ways than I really need to. And then yeah, I'll cut strands. Then maybe I want one Sanctifiers, I don't know. Sure, I have no idea. I could board up to 60 cards, and then the problem is he's still going for combo as one of his win conditions, but I can't really be overboarding for the combo. God damn it. With looting, I already have many looks at the lands that I really need, but are the spells in my hand even good enough? Like, basically this makes it into a 6-card hand, where I have some of these spells and then 2 random cards, or 3 random cards. But is that better than a random 6 is the question. Like, the upside is I have a guaranteed first land, I have some guaranteed interaction. The downside is I don't have any of my truly game-winning cards, like the Serrated Arrows, or and also I have nothing to really go with these two, and this is still too expensive. So I would likely be like discarding Glinthawk and Sanctifiers. Then my hand is like a mediocre 6-card hand. Yeah, I think I'll mulligan this as well, but it's super close just because looting is already like a reasonable way to mulligan this hand into, it's like a partial mulligan. And the question is whether a full mulligan or a partial mulligan of this hand is better. I think a full mulligan has potential to be better, but it could also backfire. Okay, yeah, I like this hand a lot better already. Sure. Though I mean I need an artifact to bounce, but I think 1 bolt is fine. Like a cycling artifact, I mean. Yeah, probably still bounce land here rather than resolve my Standard Bearer. My current hand, I'm not that afraid of a combo. If they turn 2 tribe and have Circular Logic backup, then it can be awkward that I haven't played the Standard Bearer. Damn. Yeah, that might backfire. Oh, and the bounce. Yeah, this is awful. God damn it, this is awful. Maybe I should have just turned to Standard Bearer. Because now I can't tap out for Standard Bearer. Because if they counter, I don't have Bolt open during my opponent's turn. Oh god. Yeah, I think I'm priced into doing this, but yeah, I can just die turn 3 here. Circular Logic, untap, kill me. And then I probably have to Bolt to get a card out of their hand and hope they don't have... Okay. Well, that gives me some hope unless I'm getting gut-shotted. Or Journey to... Well, Journey to Nowhere still cost them a lot of mana. Okay. Well, it didn't backfire as much as I had feared, but yeah. No, they can discard another card. Like, you can first discard a random card out of your hand and then cast Circular Logic. Yeah, definitely taking this. So that I have to pay 2. If they have a win in hand, they would do that. Yeah, the bounce land being my only red source here is pretty awkward. But yeah, now I have a blocker, I have a standard barrel. Things are looking a lot better. I have a bolt that is now open during my opponent's turn, so combo should be pretty far away for a while. And then I get to draw through my deck a little bit with my clues. I'm 4-0, though not feeling particularly great about my current situation in this match. Damn. That was not the 1 mana red card that I was hoping to draw. Really looking for that Pyroblast there. Though the Stormbound guy still gets outclassed by my Sky Fisher, potentially, for a little bit. And then even if they serrated arrows, I can do some kind of double block in the air. Oh no, serrated arrows would just kill my standard Vara, yeah, sure. So Krarkland Shaman gives me some chance of tapping out. The downside is that I'm really playing into serrated arrows, so that there's multiple creatures on the board that I don't want to lose to one at the same time. The big upside is that it plays around Gutshot really well, and I get to develop my board really well. Yeah, I think I'm flooding the board here and just hoping there's no arrows anytime soon. I think he didn't even board them in against me last time, though I discussed that with him in the chat, and I think he figured that he did want at least 1 arrows in the deck in this matchup as well. So it was more like a lesson learned moment, even though he might have misplayed that last week. Sure. And yeah, Glinthawking my land, I'm kind of at the point where I want to... Well, I'm not really putting pressure on him with the Glinthawk, not sure. Glinthawking the land might have been too aggressive as well. Just felt like I wanted to build a board. It makes my Journey to Nowhere's a lot better, makes my serrated arrows a lot better. But yeah, maybe that's just too aggressive when the Glinthawk doesn't really get to attack anyways. Unless I'm willing to trade Glinthawk for Stormbound guys. Okay, now they do have Circular Logic in their hand. That was the Augur reveal. Okay, the Stormbound guys can start getting in though. Yeah, this Core Skyfisher can start getting in through the Stormbound guys. That's what I was trying to say. Skyfisher likely just gets Circular Logic. It's not that bad for me to get it out of their hand, I think. Nope. Okay, interesting. I would have expected that to be the most important card, unless he somehow assembles a killer here, but I'm not sure how. Like, it outclasses the Stormbound guys in the air both defensively and aggressively. It draws me an extra card, basically. How is that not the card that you want to counter? Pretty surprised by that. Unless he wanted to respect... I mean, that helps. I can Galvanic Blast it down at some point, and then I guess he has Circular Logic to protect his Spire Golem, so I guess I can see the logic behind it. The circular logic behind it. If I sack this, I lose Metacraft for my bolt. Still think it's better, because I know the blast isn't really going to resolve. Also, I can just make the attack in and then my bolts kill it or threaten to kill it. They can double block. And the double block's pretty awkward for me. Huh. Yeah, double block is not that great for me. I think I won't. Inside out, sure. They don't really have a great win condition other than, oh god, other than finding the arrows, is what I was going to say. Yeah, that is awful for me. I mean, they're still low on cards in hand, and like, it's gonna take a while for them to shoot down all of my hate creatures, and then they probably don't have a combo assembled all that quickly from there. And I still have, like, I'm not getting combo killed anytime soon, but the arrows is still a huge beating. Can I Pyroblast or something, please? One-time dealer. Nope. Yeah, only one red source. And my lack of artifacts, both pretty bad for me. I want to resolve this Palace Sentinels, I think, even though there's some risk attached to that as well. With can sack something to get a card out of their hand. Doesn't seem too great. I need my Metacraft still. Can Galvanic Blast the Spiral Golem first, but then I'm making myself even more vulnerable to combo than I already am. Guess sacking something also protects me from the combo for at least the for at least the turn, because if they give additional toughness to their tireless type, then it still has damage marked on it, so they can't inside out this turn. Maybe there's some, yeah, I guess that's going to be fine. Dispel, okay, so they do still have their circular logic now. I sack my clue. So I'm not dying to combo this turn. They discard island, sure. And then I think I want to stop. Like, I can trade for another card in their hand, but then I lose all of my Thraben Inspectors. That seems bad. Okay. Now I no longer need Metacraft, so I can sack this clue freely as well. And they can't combo kill me this turn, and they're low on cards in hand for future combos. That's a good card, but still very low on red mana. So their circular logic go down to 2 cards in hand, and they need like inside out, and so basically they would need to have a second inside out and a second Shadow Rift and a gush for them to have enough hand size for me to get punished. If I go Palace Sentinels, they circular logic, I try to defend it with Pyroblast. I guess, no, I do have 3 flying blockers. They can give one of their creatures Shadow, but then I just attack on the ground to steal the Monarch back. Yeah, I think it has to be the turn that I cast this. I mean, there's some combination of cards where I die, but I do also have to make some progress. Also, there's many combination of cards where this doesn't resolve, yeah, exactly. But that is not the biggest concern. Okay, they're down to 1 card in hand. I'm most afraid of some gushes. Thank you, Spazzy MFC, Spazzy MFC, for your follow. At least they can't really reset their arrows, unless he added the ghostly flickers back into his deck. Shadow Rift. Okay. Yep, I take 1. Okay, so now combo should be under control. Still don't have great attacks, especially with the arrows shaping the size of my flying creatures. So now we get to sit here, I guess, until I find my serrated arrows, and then everything's great all of a sudden. Well, assuming it doesn't get circular logic, but yeah, now double bolt open protects me from the combo. Entertain you with a weird Y in the middle. Thank you for your follow. No gush? No, it seems to be no gush. And I guess I double block here. It trades for Skyfisher after serrated arrows. Sure, and then I get to bolt these Stormbound guys. That's a 3/3. Yeah, sure. Oh, inside out. Sure, that's kind of the same thing. Ghostly Flicker here would be the blowout of the century. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, if they counter this, it's also pretty bad. But I get the... Yeah, that makes sense that he wanted to do that. Yeah, he wanted to remove the counters and then have it persist again and all that, but yeah. At least we fought through the serrated arrows completely now. Still not really making a lot of forward progress, but he's also very far from comboing. Yeah. The arrows Stormbound guys interaction is very cute. Still difficult for him to win, unless he has like second serrated arrows or something, because we fought through one entirely, and now I have standard bearer. There's only 2 inside outs left in the deck, and it's difficult for like Spire Golems and Stormbound guys to overwhelm the air presence that I already have. So I'm not sure whether he can still win. It's kind of the point. I don't really worry about winning all that much in this matchup. I just worry about him not winning, and then eventually he's going to run out of things to do. Also, he cycles through so many cards that I can even deck him. Should be fine to counter this. Still have standard bearer, so combo is not a concern. Number of cards in hand is super low. So yeah, getting combo killed is not high on my list of concerns. It's more about like multiple Stormbound guys and multiple Spire Golems taking over the air. Yeah, I could have. Okay, more. So we are through all circular logics. Yeah, I can do that. I just wanted to hold on to the bolt for his combos, so I didn't want to attack Core Skyfisher into Spire Golem and then bolt it afterwards, which is always a way to get it off of the board. I might do that now, but I didn't want to do it before the standard bearer was on the board, basically. This turn it might be fine. I can inside out my Skyfisher to kill it as well. That's the one downside of this. Okay. There's our Spire Golem answer finally showing up. Right on time. The one turn where Christian talks me into bolting it. See, my spidey senses were telling me that Core Sanctifiers is waiting. Yeah, Skyfisher blocks the... Yeah, Standard Bearer blocks the combo, I'm aware. But like, the earlier turns I could have done that play already with the Lightning Bolt and the Skyfisher, but I didn't want to do it without a Standard Bearer on the board. And with Standard Bearer I was like willing to do that. Well, now he has card advantage back on his side, though I'm not certain how many more cards are in his deck that matter. Like, more Spire Golems and Stormborn guys definitely matter. Though I guess Core Sanctifiers has the Spire Golem kind of covered. There's 3 Circular Logics here, so still 1 in the deck, but not a lot of counter magic left. Oh, that's also decent. So no more comboing, and that also stops Spire Golem from really taking over the skies, because I can still shrink them. Kill that now so they can, well, I guess they can combo through it regardless. Apostle's Blessing would be like the only concern there, where they give protection from artifacts. I don't think he even plays any of those, and he would also have to deal with Standard Bearer. But yeah, I think milling him out is a reasonable strategy from here on out, if there's enough flying blockers. And if there's not enough flying blockers, I just win in the air. Yep. But yeah, both of our serrated arrows are pretty huge blowouts. Okay, so last Circular Logic, or I get to get the Spire Golem for free. We win. Okay, so that worked out pretty nicely. Still don't think I want more. Not sure on the number of Palace Sentinels. Ravenous Chupacabra, yeah. Okay. So do I need even more tools for the combo now that I'm on the draw? Also, Standard Bearer, Krarklan Shaman is pretty mediocre against my opponent's serrated arrows, so they only have like 1 in the deck. Maybe they board a second or a third one in after seeing my sideboard plan. So it's possible like switching these for some electricries, or for example, would be a reasonable thing to do. Or maybe some strands. Those strands are pretty weak to Giga Draws. Electricry is also kind of weak to Giga Draws, but yeah, I could see the switch. Maybe even the second one. Throw out like an Inspector, though the Inspector helps a lot against the early combo attempts. Prismatic. I mean, Prismatic is pretty bad against how my opponent's approaching the matchup post-board. It's super good pre-board, but he either grinds me out with flyers, or grinds me out with serrated arrows, or tries to Giga Draws me out, and then the combo turn is the one that is protected by Giga Draws. Prismatic strands can sometimes still be helpful there. Okay, probably not the Electricry, just have a second Palace Sentinels or something, because it does go with the Prismatic strands and gives me like inevitability of some sort. Sure. Well, now I'm more vulnerable to the combo, even though I'm on the draw, so that might be like a anti-synergistic. I don't think the Borg is good. I mean, it helps against circular logic, but I don't think it's enough of a reason to have it in the deck. And I want a slightly lower land count, I think. Okay, this looks okay, but it's super clunky. If my opponent's hand is explosive, it's super bad for me, and if it's like a Stormbound Guy, Spire Golem, slow hand, then it's pretty great for me. Because then, like, Pyroblast, their Stormbound guys get to sit around and cycle through these cards. Deep Analysis, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty scary card in the long game as well. I was just playing around Stormbound guys here, but it might be too conservative. Maybe I should just be jamming the Thraben Inspector. I don't really care about the damage that the Augur's getting in, but it does develop my mana a lot more fluidly. Also, I could have jammed either, like any of these. Deep Analysis is like the only card where Bojuka Book would really be getting value, but it doesn't necessarily lie in the graveyard all that often, especially for combo turns. They can just discard it and then flash it back as like an extra gush. Yeah. What did they do with the first ponder? Choose to not shuffle, okay. Seems strange to immediately ponder again after you just didn't shuffle your first ponder. I guess they might have just wanted one card and then shuffled. No, another non-shuffle. Okay. So the second ponder was just completely useless, basically. They just cycled to draw one card. I mean, that's what cycling usually does, but like they only wanted the one card and are going to shuffle the rest away now. I think I'm going to keep holding on to this for now. Yeah. Especially now that I'm Pyroblast flooded. I might even just Pyroblast the Deep Analysis front side. Not the greatest exchange, but I mean, at least I'm stopping a 2-for-1. And get one of my Pyroblasts out of my hand, sure. Yeah, the Pauper format is pretty great. Well, unless you play the most mindless deck in the format and just try to boggle people out, right? But who would do that? That seems like a waste of talent. No one who's actually skilled at Magic would do that, right? But yeah, format's amazing. I agree completely. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna fight over this one. They can just dispel me very easily, and it's very mana efficient for them. All the dirty Lantern players. That's not the one that I can Pyroblast. My draw's pretty medium. Did I board out the Faithless Looting? I didn't. That would be pretty great here. Also any type of... Well, Core Sanctifiers would be the nuts. But also Galvanic Blast would be pretty decent here to finally get the Spire Golem off of the board, as well as any of my own core Skyfisherers. Okay, I think I'm fine with them using a serrated arrow counters on Thraben Inspector if that's what's happening here. Inside Out, sure. Same thing. I mean, it's card advantage, but who really cares about the random 1-1? Or the 1-2, I mean. Well, Pyroblast going to trade for Dispel at some point. And I would like to keep this off of the board. Yeah, now my board position is pretty bad. Well, that improves things slightly because they're tapped out. Though them resolving this is always bad for me. Need my journey. Guess I can just flood the board with Glintox and pretend like I have counterplay, because I actually do have counterplay. So that makes it pretty difficult for them to start attacking with the Stormbound guys if they're taking 4 damage back. This is another... I think I'm fine with this still, for both serrated arrows and inside out. I can try to like pick off the augur with some kind of double block, but then they get to inside out or serrated arrows my Glintox. I think that's worse for me than letting them do this and not getting any value out of it. Gosh. Not sure if he just completely gave up on the combo or that was just the way that the draws lined up. Another gosh, I don't like the way this is going. He's creating much more card advantage than I am. Okay, he did not cut all the tribes. We figured that part out. Arrows. Oh, okay. Yeah, arrows was what I had expected out of the attack. But I think I'm still fine with that. Not fine with the way I'm drawing though. This is awful. I think I'll just stall this for a turn with Alchemist Vial and start getting some attacks in. And getting attacks in is not even that great. Well, it has to be better for me than it is for him. He has no kind of reach and I have a lot of burn in my deck. Yeah, really need that Faithless Looting to show up and fix the amount of lands that I'm drawing here. Or my own serrated arrows to keep this board under control. Like, things are not looking too great here. I don't think there's a way in his deck to make this Alchemist Vial not work. Like, there's no Apostle's Blessing as far as I know. No Dive Down or something. There's definitely cards that could be played in this archetype that kill me. But I don't think MJ usually has any of them. But yeah, just the Gush that is still in his hand and the creature beat down here is pretty annoying to me. I mean, he didn't beat Merfolk with Tibalt, he finished the game with Tibalt after beating Merfolk with Ensnaring Bridge, but... Yep, Hardcast Gush resolves. I get to resolve my core Skyfurter, that keeps the... Well, no, never mind. He can Circular Logic it. All the lands. Yeah, I'm still very far away from playing around Circular Logic though, in terms of mana available to me. Okay, not countering it, either by choice or by not having a Circular Logic. I think I want to be able to cast my Prismatic Strands and my Blast. But yeah, no, I no longer have any great attacks. He no longer has any great attacks either, because the combo part of his deck I can still stop reasonably well. Yeah, I saw the video, but he... the video was funny, but he didn't win the game with Tibalt. That's like... Unless you use a very loose definition of winning the game with. No, I saw the clip. The clip is awesome. But all it proves is that you can win with whatever you want once you have the board under control. And Lantern is great at doing that. Yeah, you don't really need to know all the abilities of Tibalt. More Spire Golems, not really what I wanted to see. Can I play around 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't even play around Circular Logic if I find more lands. So let's just try this now, I think. I mean, I have all the lands in the world, but I can't make enough land drops to play around it. Come on, Faithless Looting. Serrated Arrow's not that bad. Seemed like opponent did not have Circular Logic, or was really patient with it. Okay, so no Circular Logic, and now looking for one off of the cycle. Gush in response, so yeah, he knows he needs the Serrated Arrows to get countered. Yes! Nice. That should help. I guess Giga draws on Serrated Arrows. No, that still doesn't work because I have Alchemist Wild to cover my one turn of weakness. Because then I pick both of these off. Like Giga draws would force me to commit to one of these two, and then he can untap with the second one. I also need to make sure I don't time out once again. This time I'm behind on time. Last time we played, he timed out, or almost timed out, and then played badly because of it and claimed that was the reason that he lost. I'm fine letting these attack because whichever one he combos on, I can pick it off with Serrated Arrows then. Probably fine trading my Glinthawk for the Serrated Arrows counter. And he might be trying to trick me into using my Serrated Arrows later. Yeah, I'm trading Glinthawk for Serrated Arrows and Augur of Bolas. That seems okay. Yeah. Faithless Looting. More lands. Guess it's time to bounce my life gain land for the one extra life that I get out of it. So I think I have combo covered, unless there's a way to destroy Serrated Arrows. But I do need to make sure I don't time out. I think this is fine actually, just killing the Augur with the Strands, because Strands is not really going to do much for me. Time. These. Well, he has to counter this. Yep. Need to pay 16 generic mana. Nope, I don't have 16 generic mana. I guess there's technically one more Tireless Tribe left in his deck than I have Serrated Arrows counters, assuming he didn't board one out. How dead is he? Not that dead yet. I can still time out, and I can still die to random Spire Golems and Stormbound guys, because I currently don't have an answer to any of that. I mean, he's completely locked out of comboing for the rest of the match, game, whatever. But yeah, his serrated arrows with his Stormbound guys and more Spire Golems or something could still get there, as well as my time situation. But yeah, I have a lot of must counters, as we can see here. Could I have even reset the serrated arrows instead of the draw artifacts and like finally shoot down the Stormbound guys? I guess that doesn't work, right? No. Because with -1/-1 counters on it, it still comes back. And no, Faithless Looting is in my deck, I think. Yeah, it's in my deck. That's why I'm holding all of these. I mean, also because I can't make that many land drops. Okay, second serrated arrows. Yeah, he still has a chance in the value game, assuming I don't find my Faithless Looting soon. If I do, then suddenly it's like a draw 5. It's like literal Ancestor Recall. That one's decent. It's another must counter. Otherwise he's in trouble again. Well, he might have... this might backfire. I guess this turn it can't backfire. Oh, no, he can kill it. Sure. That's actually... Well, maybe it's still okay for me. Because he still doesn't... no, it's probably bad for me. I tried Zen's Enlistment yesterday. It was fine, but I didn't like the fact that it made my blue-red Delver matchup worse. Because it produces non-flying tokens. But yeah, it is very widely played, and it is definitely a reasonable card to be running. Dizzy Spell 4. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, yeah, not great. So, more Tireless Tribes or not? Brainstorm, sure. He might also be decking out at some point, but yeah, this Stormbound guy's serrated arrows interaction is pretty annoying to me. He still can't really be attacking. Come on! What the hell? Maybe I should even hold the 4th land for the full Faithless Looting. What the hell is this match? Oh, yeah, I might lose. For sure. What the hell? No, I want a double block. I think. He can reset it, but then he just... Yeah, I think that's fine for me. I'm using Prismatic Strands is my plan. He can dispel that. Maybe that's annoying to me. I don't know. I mean, I'm trading my Prismatic Strands for a counter on the serrated arrows, and I'm aware of that. Wait, yeah, I can... Or I can trade my serrated arrows. No, that seems worse. Because I need these two covered tribes still. Okay, now I can shoot one down because the arrows are tapped out. It's pretty useful. If it happens. Oh, damn. Yeah, I think I'm pretty... I mean, not dead, but like I need to draw one of my strong cards to win this. He can die to mill. I can die to timing out. There's many ways for this to go wrong. I can just die to Stormbound guys beat down. Yeah, I'm super behind. I need my Faithless Looting. God damn it. That's kind of useful because it finally gets rid of the arrows. Also, Core Skyfisher is insane for me because it bounces Journey to Nowhere that currently doesn't have anything under it. But yeah, I'm just dead in 2 turns to these flyers. So I think I need Skyfisher actually. Can stall a little bit with these vials, but like I'm not in a great position at all. Yeah, I do have vials, but they only prevent like 3 damage each. I got jump block as well. Though I guess no, let's not jump block this turn because I can core Skyfisher my Glinthawk my serrated arrows, and then I get an extra 2/2 back onto the board. Come on. Well, that's slightly useful. Also now having the extra jump block is pretty great. Well, now I'm decking first, am I not? No, yeah, I might be. God damn it. Is that all 4? No, he still has 1 left. No, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he still has 1 left somewhere in the deck. Yeah, I think I'm pretty dead actually. Yeah, I did not like to pay 28. I did not. Not sure what this Augur attack is trying to do. I mean, they can inside out my Frame Inspector to kill it, but sure. Not sure. Not sure how useful that really is. Yeah, sure. Just brings him closer to decking out. Faithless looting! What the hell? I mean, he's definitely much deeper in his deck than I am. There's so many free wins I can just draw. Molten Vortex. Yeah, the Faithless looting would already be good enough, but I think I should just arrows the... Like, if I do this, I'm likely dying to Tribe afterwards, but I'm desperate. No, no, it's probably fine. Yeah, I was still going to Skyfisher the journey over the arrows. I lose my arrows now, that's the downside, but... Very unfortunate end for this match. This just gets dispelled or circular logic or whatever. Yeah, I was never winning this. Not, I mean, there were definitely times in the match where I could have won it, but I was just behind in card advantage the entire time, and yeah, I think like Faithless looting, a little bit more Skyfishers. How many Skyfishers did I actually have left? 2? Well, now it's not good anymore, but like the last 15 turns or so it was good. As it's like in literal draw 4. Moto doesn't let me draw cards. That was unfortunate. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded, like having less hate for the combo and just letting arrows carry everything. With the way that the game played out, I wanted even more Palace Sentinels, but when I play more Palace Sentinels, there's a lot of risk of getting it stolen by Shadow Rift and then spiraling out of control. So I think I'm fine with what I did there. I'm not certain if Better Screech helps me at all, because it's also weak to his arrows and also his flyer still outclassed that. Though I think with how this match played, Reaping the Graves is actually reasonable, but we're like going further and further down, making our decks inbred for the matchup where we both board into more and more controlling versions of our deck. Like now I had Core Sanctifiers for Spire Golem, how insane is that in a matchup where I can die on turn 2 to a combo? because both of us are like willing to go even further and further down the controlling route. And I'm not sure where, like, in that, you always want to be the deck that is like a slight bit slower, but once someone goes too far down the slow route, then it starts becoming better again to be faster. So like if I have Palace Sentinels and Core Sanctifiers and all that stuff stuck in my hand and my opponent just goes for a turn to combo, then suddenly that's not good for me anymore. So I'm not certain at what point the breaking point comes where going faster again is better again, and then like it all starts spinning around in like a metagame development where like from the starting point where super fast is his approach again, then I have to be a little bit more respectful of the combo, and then it makes his slower game plans better again, and then it keeps circling round and round. But yeah, right now we seem to be outslowing each other and trying to like be the one with more serrated errors. In this game also the second serrated errors would have been insane, but it doesn't really solve my Stormborn Geist issue. Yeah, Stormborn Geist is just a huge problem to me. Thank you for the follow, Mishenda.